Okay. All right, we are live. What's going on, Zach?
Not much. It's just figuring out this slate.
Yeah, we got a big one on tap. We've got 10 games
10.
today. 10 games on a Wednesday.
Pretty
All
good
right.
slate.
Yeah.
Be a lot of good options.
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be a shitload of value. So, I'm going to give some
You
people
want
a
me to
few
pull up the
minutes to
bench
get
here?
in here. Yeah, please.
I'm pulling it up so I can see the chat board too. All right, yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, cool. What's up, Uncle Drew? How's it going?
All right.
I'm going to give
Well,
people a
which
few
game you
minutes.
want to talk about first?
Give me 1 second. Let me
Very good.
tell everybody we're live. All right, live. All right, we'll give him a second. Let's see what we got in here. Finally hit affiliate. Been a long time coming. A little less than a month. So we appreciate all the support. Yeah, facts, natural. Facts. I just hate playing fucking Golden State. Like, they're just trash.
All right. No,
The
I want to
only.
talk about the Pascal thing for a second.
That's fine, go ahead.
I said in the chat prior to that Pascal was getting a ton of ownership and was a terrible play. He was. Like, the reason I went to him on FanDuel is because Nasir Little got rolled out and I had to move some pieces around to get things, and he was the only thing in that range. You could have gone up to Tice, but then that puts you like Isaiah Stewart at something like that at 3,900, 4K, something like that. He was just like the most logical piece there. If Nasir Little plays, we don't have Pascal on either site in zero capacity. That was the dumbest chalk play I've seen in years. I swear to you. This is a bench player that has not that played 7 minutes when Wiseman got hurt. Okay, I'm turned. My mic's like I'm like eating my mic, so I don't know what else I can do about that.
Okay.
Um,
Let me turn them up.
you'll have to turn me up, but um,
Let me know if that's good.
yeah. So Pascal was a terrible play. You see a bench player that played 7 minutes the game prior with no foul problems, and when he's the backup to the backup gets hurt, and then still in that game, like Pascal is not. They wanted to play the Toscano Anderson or whatever the whole fucking year, and not Pascal. It was like I saw that and I was like, where is this coming from? And I kept looking and looking. I was like, who else is out? What am I missing? I wasn't missing anything. It was just a terrible play. If Kevon Looney doesn't get hurt on DraftKings, we cash. If fucking Anthony Simons doesn't get hurt, we cash. It's the stupidest thing ever that we had two people on DraftKings get hurt. Randall, Jeff Green was just the problem. We got Rui at low ownership like he should have been. Um, I just like Jeff Green in the starting lineup. He's already been getting minutes, didn't have to deal with DeAndre Jordan getting rebounds away from him. I was like, okay, this should be a spot where he can get a double double and stuff like that. Yes, it was a tough matchup, and I say it all the time. I don't like to target Ibaka and stuff like that. But once Nasir Little got ruled out, it was just hard to figure out where to go from there and at a time crunch. And I saw that I could get Jeff Green in there with Rui and with these other pieces and with Anthony Simons on DraftKings. I was like, well, that fits really well. So I'm going to go with that. And I had to give that to you guys quickly because it was about to lock. Um, so yeah, Jeff Green was not the best play in the world, and he burned us. But the real problem was that Anthony Simons and Looney got hurt on DraftKings. Jeff Green was 100% the problem on FanDuel, without a doubt. But you can't beat a Blaine's. Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to explain it and letting you guys know that if you see a play like Pascal, it's a terrible play. It is that was the dumbest thing, and I put that in the chat. Like I had no idea why people were going there. Like he was more owned than the starter in Kevon Looney. That is like the epitome of fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Um, I don't get it. But regardless, let's go to this slate. Which game you want to talk about first?
All right, man. We got a 10 gamer on tap. Let's start out with the Pacers taking on the Bucks. Bucks are favorite 8 points. Over under is 233.5.
So This is the first time I'm looking at this slate today. Sabonis is 8,300 on DraftKings.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I don't see in a world where you don't play Sabonis tonight. I don't see how you could uh through the slate without playing Sabonis on DraftKings. Brogdon's fine at 8,100. I don't like targeting Drew Holiday defense, but Drew Holiday has actually been the greatest defender this year. Maybe it's because they're blowing teams out. Maybe because they play at such a high pace. The defensive statistics for Milwaukee are always a little bit different because they play at such a high pace. But he point guards have been fine against Milwaukee. They haven't been like the best, not like the nut matchup or anything like that. Sabonis is just obviously such a good play. I think Turner's not bad at 6,700. He's been doing spectacular. The rest of this game, obviously you can always play Giannis. I'm not going to talk about Giannis. Any stud that I don't mention, you can always play them for the millionth time that I've had to say that. The rest of this game is just kind of like a
sure.
What?
It's definitely not going to be a blowout. I don't think so.
No. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Indiana's good. Even without T.J. Warren and without LeVert, so which both those are. Warren will come back later in the season. I don't know if LeVert's come back at all.
I kind of like the spread here for the Pacers. I think they keep it within 8, personally.
It's an 8-point spread. Yeah, I can see that. Remember, it is a back-to-back though for this team. Even though they didn't really have to play the fourth quarter yesterday, so that helps. But
yeah.
Sabonis, I don't know how you're not going to play Sabonis. So it's Sabonis from me from this game, and then you can play Giannis if you have the feeling that you need to play Giannis.
The pricing is pretty much the same on FanDuel as it usually is. Giannis is 11.2, Sabonis is 88, so he's a little bit more expensive, but it's fucking
under 9K though.
So, yeah,
so good.
Brogdon's still 84. He usually is 84. Middleton's 79. Usually is. Holiday 78. That's all this is normal. Lamb is still 53.
Okay, Lamb at 53 is not bad.
Yeah,
but remember, this is a back-to-back and a guy coming off injury, so I don't know. He played
30, 30, and 26.
27 last night. Okay. He could play it like 30 minutes tonight.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
28,
surprised.
30 minutes.
So Lamb on FanDuel's not bad at 5,300. But then besides that, it's Sabonis, and then you can get to Middleton if you wanted to. 7,900 for Middleton, I think, is a fair price.
Yeah, we would just have to look and see how shooting guard looks. But yeah, I like that.
Cool.
That's
all I got.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like Sabonis. That's my top play there. You good to move on?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We've got the 76ers taking on the Hornets. 76ers are favorites, 6.5. Over-under is 223.
Yeah, so we just need to know about Terry Rozier news. I don't know if he'll play or not. If he plays, obviously you can't play LaMelo. If he doesn't play, you can play LaMelo.
Malik Monk.
Still think it's. Yeah. Okay. I've looked at Malik Monk the last slate, not as a cash game play. That was never a cash game play. He was going to get more time. He's that fourth guard. Now he steps into LaMelo Ball's role of coming off the bench and being that third guard into the rotation. Remember, last game he shot 9 of 13 from 3-point range. He ain't going to do that every single time. That's 27 of his 36 points he made from 3. And he got you 5 rebounds and 2 assists. I don't expect him to get 5 rebounds a game either. I expect him to have 1 or 2 rebounds and 1 or 2 assists with some points. 4K, you can take some GPP shots on it, but there's no way that I'm playing that. When he was 3K or 3,300 or whatever the other day, yeah, he was a fine play, but not for cash. That's why I didn't ever mention it. But yeah, he's that 3 guard that comes in. So if you want to take shots on him, go for it. But the people that I do like from this game, if you think this game can stay competitive, Tobias Harris at 7,300 is really good. Joel Embiid at 10K is just a fair price. Gordon Hayward at 7,200 is a fair price. LaMelo at 7K if Terry Rozier's out is good.
Yeah, he's 66 on FanDuel. It's pretty good.
I'm still not sold on Cody Zeller. This dude, I know him.
What's it gonna take?
He's not like what?
What's it gonna take for you to buy into Zeller, man?
Well,
the minutes are there.
Well, the thing is, you don't want to buy in too late either. So I think now is too late. So he's 5,800. And yes, he's done well. But now he did really well against Bam, and I did not expect that at all. And now he goes against arguably the best defensive center in the NBA. Joel Embiid haunts people's. He lives rent
Sure.
free in Andre Drummond's mind. Like Drummond is a great center, and we've seen that all year long, and all last year, and the year before that. He just puts up massive games. When he plays Embiid, he looks like a little child, and Embiid just demolishes him. And like, go look if you don't believe me, go look at Drummond's games against Embiid. Go look at him against Philly. When Embiid plays, it is terrible. So I don't. Again, this is Zeller is 5,800 now on DraftKings. I don't know what he is on FanDuel.
55.
5,500 on FanDuel's okay. Again, it's just taking up your center spot. On a 10-game slate, I don't need to play $5,800 Zeller against Embiid.
Agreed.
I just don't need to.
And Embiid should play, right?
Embiid's not even on the injury report, so yeah.
Okay.
If Embiid was out, obviously you could play Zeller. I'm not worried about Howard or anyone
I don't
else,
like
but
targeting Embiid either, so I'm with you.
yeah.
I just thought
really
you,
for me
you
this
weren't
game,
buying into his minutes. Sorry.
I'm still not sold on his minutes either. This is a center who Charlotte has routinely played big minutes, and then he'll drop off the face of the planet, and then he'll come back, and then he'll drop off the face of the planet. I'm not sold on shit that he's doing at all.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I have him in our season long, and I'm waiting for him to have these couple dud games. I'm gonna drop his ass because he's not. He's like that. It's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, then fine. We see his 7K Zeller here in a couple weeks, and he sits up there for the rest of the season and plays big minutes. That's fine. But I'm not. It's too late to buy into him. I played him. Obviously, I played him a couple times when he was first coming back, and then he got up into 5Ks. I'm like, and he still did well. So, for me, this game, it's Tobias Harris, Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball, and if you want some Embiid, you can go for it.
Yeah. Do you think LaMelo would be chalky if Rozier's out again?
Yeah, I would imagine
I'd
he's
say
chalky.
so.
He has triple double upside at 7K. So.
For sure. All right, cool. Do you have anything else? Do you want to
And
talk
he
about?
lost minutes to foul trouble last game. That was another reason that Monk got a lot overrun too. So
Yeah.
remember that.
Do you think? Let's talk about Graham really quick and hit on Monk, and then we can move on to the next game. What do you think about
I've already.
Graham?
Graham's fine. 6,600. What's he on FanDuel?
It's 55.
Oh, 55 on FanDuel's a great play. If Rozier's out, play Devontae Graham.
Yeah, I like it.
He proved it. He proved it last game in a tough matchup. This is a much easier matchup for guards. So I don't mind Devontae Graham at 5,500 at all. That's a really good. 6,600 on DraftKings is kind of like nah, and he's point guard only, so that kind of hurts. Like LaMelo's already point guard only. If Rozier's out, I'd just play LaMelo over Devontae Graham on DraftKings. I think you can play both of them on FanDuel because LaMelo's 6,600. You're talking about it's 1,100. Yeah, I mean you're talking a good amount of like savings on like a $1,500 less price tag for the two of them on FanDuel. Like that's a big difference. So if Rozier's out, you can play both on FanDuel and play one of them on DraftKings, and I prefer LaMelo. Don't play Malik Monk in cash.
Yeah, I would rather go and pay up for Graham. I mean, 41 minutes.
Also, remember, guys, this was a double overtime game. So
sure.
What we just saw was a double overtime game. You can't look into too much of the minutes. Like Malik Monk played all of the overtime, so he played 30 minutes in regulation. LaMelo was in foul trouble a ton, so he only played 31 minutes in a double overtime game. He's going to play 31 minutes in a regular game when he doesn't have 5 fouls. So, just saying. And yeah,
Sure.
Gordon Hayward played 42 minutes, so he was playing 32 minutes in regulation. He wasn't. He had 3 fouls. So I'm just saying, like LaMelo is the best play from there for Rozier's out.
Yeah, I like that, and I really like me some Graham too on FanDuel only.
Yeah,
So.
FanDuel for sure.
All right, cool. Let's move on, dude. I like that game though. It's not bad. We've got the Mavs taking on the Hawks. The Mavericks are favored 1.5, and the over/under is 223.5.
Yeah. So obviously you can play Luka 10-8's fair. Nothing crazy. I don't really. I played Porzingis last game against Phoenix. What's he on FanDuel? Porzingis
75.
Okay, fair price. Capella's a pretty good defensive center. Not that Porzingis plays a lot of the 5 right now, but I don't like targeting that. Just like I don't like John Collins because I think he's just gonna get little boyed by Porzingis. But unless Porzingis has a really good shooting night from deep, I don't think he's going to pay off his price tag really well. Obviously, Porzingis can get a bunch of rebounds and a bunch of assists and just go crazy at any game. So obviously you can play Porzingis. I just don't think he's a priority for this slate like he was when he was 7K. We still have DeAndre Hunter out. But I'm kind of just not sold on this Atlanta team outside of Trae Young. Like 9,500 on DraftKings is still like a really good price. He just put up 56 against the Lakers in a slow-paced game. I feel like this game should be higher paced. So I don't mind Trae Young on DraftKings. I don't mind like a Kevin Huerter or a Reddish on DraftKings, but I'm not really sold on them. One person that I'm like more feeling like that's a decent play is Josh Richardson. He's getting his minutes back. He played 35 and 37 the last 2 games, and with one of them being he scored 40 points. I'm not trying to get too recency biased though, but this is a dude that 4,500 is a fair price. Like I played him several times early in the season when he was like 5,100, 4,900, something like that, and I just expect him to be able to get like 25 fantasy points. And at 4,500, that's a pretty good price tag for him. Like I think I put him as like my number 5 shooting guard 2 slates ago on my top 5, just because he was too cheap. He was like 4,300. He got 40 points. I was not touting him or anything like that. I'm not trying to say. I'm just saying like I did put him in the list because he was just too cheap for what he can do, and the sentiment is still there today. But really, it's for me this game. It's like Trae Young. Obviously, you can play Luka, Porzingis a little bit, and then Josh Richardson. So
Yeah, I like Josh Richardson. He just blew up when he was 3,900. Now they've bumped him up a K on FanDuel.
oh, he's 49. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
like that.
49 on
I don't
FanDuel.
I don't like that on FanDuel. I like it much more on DraftKings.
Yeah. They do have Reddish and Kevin Huerter, however you say his name, to 45 and 46. They're all shooting guards. So it's kind of
Wait,
like
how
the
much
same.
is Herder?
It's 4,500, and Reddish is
Okay,
46.
Herder at 4,500 I really like. I
Yeah,
like him way more than Reddish.
this was the same thing we
I think
played 2 days ago. He was the
yeah,
same
I
price.
played Herder. I mean, he got us like 21 points. That he didn't kill us. That's what we
No.
need for value. So I don't mind Herder at all. Um, he may be a cash game play. I just don't know how shooting guard is as a whole. I'd have to look more into it. So, but as of just a straight up price play, yeah, Herder's a really good play on FanDuel.
What do you think about Kleber? He's back. He's 4,100 a power forward. I mean, it's probably not the most like appealing play on the slate, but he's in play, I
Um,
think, for GPPs.
he's in play. He's in play for sure. I think so. He was on a minutes limit last time, and I expect so he played 18 last game. I expect him to play 24 today, probably. I mean, and he could see his full run that he was getting earlier in the season. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like him more on DraftKings at 3,700. He's one of the better values that we have right now. Because we don't have like a ton of like clear cut value except for OKC. So we may not even need it if you're just loading up on OKC, which is perfectly fine to do. But if you're paying up for more studs, Maxi Kleber at 3,700 is fine. Like this is a decent matchup for him. I expect him to get a few fouls trying to guard Capella though is my one scary thing. So 4,100 is a little bit tough on FanDuel. 3,700 on DraftKings is fine. I expect him to get 15 to 18 points most of the time, and at 3,700, like I can live with that. It's a person that I wouldn't be getting bunches of in GPP for sure, not at all. Like this is purely cash. Do not play Maxi Kleber in GPPs. He's gonna hurt your lineups. Obviously, if I have Maxi Kleber in the lineup, the stuff that I'm giving out tonight, then you can put that in GPPs because I make it where you should have some upside for both. But if you're making 150 lineups, be under the field on Maxi Kleber for sure.
Yeah. I don't mind DFS at 3,900. He's small forward, but small forward is kind of loaded today, so I
Oh,
don't
that's
really see
okay.
you getting there. But I mean, the dude's
Yeah,
getting over 30 minutes, and he's 3,900.
exactly. I like him more than I like Maxi Kleber actually on DraftKings. I didn't realize that. I thought Finney Smith was like 4,500. He's 3,900. So I would much prefer because most likely you're putting Kleber at your power forward position, not your center position on DraftKings.
Yeah.
So Dorian Finney-Smith fills the same role and gives you small forward, power forward eligibility. So 3,900 for Finney-Smith is fine on DraftKings. Again, these are both kind of just like low upside plays, given that we do have so much value from OKC. But Finney-Smith and Kleber are both in a good matchup. Atlanta's not the best defensive team besides Capella. So.
Yep, I like it, man. All right,
And
let's move on.
Hunter being out also hurts their defensive efficiency.
Yeah.
He's actually not a bad defender, so
Agreed. All right,
We
man.
can move on.
Let's move on to the Rockets taking on the Thunder. Rockets are favored 7 points, and the over/under is 222.
Well, here's all the value. So Shea's out. Remember, John Wall is out. Um, so this OKC team just got ran over last game. Um, John Wall was on fire for the little bit that he played. But most of these people didn't play too many minutes. So let's just talk about OKC for a second. So Shea's out and George Hill's out. Al Horford is what is Al Horford on FanDuel?
Uh, hang on. He's on my freaking optimizer. Let me get a look.
Horford 6,500. I've got it all pulled up.
Yeah.
6,500. So you can play Al Horford. I don't love it mainly because it takes up a center spot on both sites, and I don't expect him to play 35 minutes today. You know what I'm saying? I will say though, he could be Theo Maledon's gonna be the quote unquote point guard, but I can see Horford getting more assists and more other things too. If I'm gonna play him on one of the sites, it's more likely to be DraftKings because I can still roster another center. On FanDuel at 6,500, I definitely like DraftKings better for that 6K price tag, but I'm not fully sold on him yet. He could be in both lineups. He could be in neither. I don't know. He's going to be in that middle tier of like centers today, where he's like a good play, but I don't know. I'm just worried about his overall minutes because if this game isn't competitive, he's going to be the first person to be pulled. They're going to play Roby. Aluzagius Pozarcheski or whatever his name is no longer with the team. He's in the G League bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So they've lost him. They have Roby. They still have Muscala, and they really haven't played Moses Brown a lot. But he could get some more minutes. Like he played 5 at the end of the game last game. I'm not saying any of these players are people that you want to play. And obviously, we with this game being so out of reach for OKC, there's a real possibility that later on we get a notification that Al Horford's out for rest, or something like that, or that's a possibility. They could be like, you know what, we don't need you to play this game. Let's let our young guys run out there. So it's a possibility. But if Horford's in, he's a decent play. If he's out, obviously like Isaiah Roby, we've already seen, is a good play. Besides that, you can play Oladipo or Wood without John Wall. I think they're fine. Eric Gordon at 5,400. If he starts, he should start. But again, like I'm not fully sold on 5,400 Eric Gordon. He's not getting a ton of minutes. He's probably going to get he's going to get minutes from John Wall, but I still think his minute cap's probably like 30. So I don't love it. I'd rather go like Darius Bazley at 5,200 on DraftKings. Looks pretty good with no Shea. Hamidou Diallo at 4,500. Lou Dort at 4,444. Theo Maledon I think is an absolute lock at 4,300.
I really like
Yeah,
Bazley. I think
it's really
Bazley's gonna
all
have
the
to
value
step up
pieces
here.
from OKC.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I just think Bazley's gonna have to step up here. I think he's
Yeah,
been playing better, and I think that this is the game where he could get right here.
yeah, I fully agree.
And then I'm thinking, yeah, I really like Diallo too. I was looking at Shane put in the chat. I like Diallo, but I really like Maledon for sure. Maledon. So Zach, Maledon's 4,800 on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's a little bit tougher pill to swallow. I don't know. I'd have to look at the rest of that team and which pieces I want and that point guard position.
Yeah,
So
as a whole, for sure.
yeah.
So let's talk about Jae'Sean Tate. He's been playing minutes, and he's cheap. He is still 3,900.
It's 3,900 on FanDuel.
Yes, small forward.
Yeah, it's a really good play. Without John Wall, he sees more usage. He's small. That's a really good play. I don't mind Tate at all.
Yep.
I think that's probably that's a better value play than Theo Maledon.
Oh yeah, for sure. Price wise, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
like it.
Tate is 47 on DraftKings. Don't hate it. I think that he can pay off that price tag in this matchup. Without John Wall, he should still be in the starting lineup. Yeah, he's the projected 3 right now. So, Oladipo is real, and Wood are the two people that are stealing a lot of usage. Like Gordon's really just shooting threes, and like I've watched, Gordon is taking some layups and doing some other things, but Tate's doing a lot. So I don't mind Tate on either site,
Yeah.
but
Hey, while
he's
we're
he's
talking
going to
about
be like more of a priority on FanDuel, less of a priority on
yeah,
DraftKings.
I really like Tate for sure. When Wall's out, you just plug in Tate because he's like 3K. So.
Yeah.
Since we're on small forward, really quick, we'll go. Let's circle back to a question in chat. They want to know what your thoughts are about Miles Bridges for Charlotte. He's getting pretty big minutes. I think he's still coming off the bench. He's
He is still coming off the
4,200.
bench. 42.
I know it's a tough matchup, but he's 4,200. He doesn't need a lot to get you there.
So I'd imagine there's at least one good small forward that we want to pay up for, or at least one middle tier
I would
one.
think so
If you're
too.
punting both, it's just so Jayshawn Tate is a much better play than Miles Bridges
I
for
think so too.
$300 less, like much better. I don't know the full like here. I'll just pull it up. It's easier that way. So small forward.
I
Tonight
like
like
Butler.
we have Kawhi on a back-to-back against Cleveland. No. Jalen Brown. No. Jimmy Butler 8,500. Okay, fine.
I like
Brandon
Butler.
Ingram. No, not against Phoenix. Middleton. Trying to look for just like good price tags. Just scrolling through here real quick.
Barrett taking on Chicago. I like that at
So
64.
Eric Gordon at 4,900 I think is a better play than Miles Bridges.
Yep, I agree with that.
I think Cedi Osman without Drummond is a better play at 4,500. We already know Nance is out. So if Drummond's also out, I think Cedi Osman at 4,500 is a better play than Miles Bridges. I think Duncan Robinson at 4,400 and Lou
Dude, this
Dort at
position
4,400
is
are both better
stacked.
plays than Miles Bridges.
Yeah, small forward is actually stacked today, which is weird.
Yeah, you've got a lot of good little like pieces. And I will say this, just keeping on the same game, getting off the small forward, but still talking about it. Of the pieces from OKC, Lou Dort is my least favorite.
Yeah, completely agree with
it's
that.
gonna be Baisley number 1, Amadou Diallo number 2, Theo Maledon 3, and then I'm saying this doesn't include Horford of these value pieces, and then Lou Dort is 4th. Horford is just a person that I'm fine having, but I'm fine not having too. So
yeah, I like it.
I'm just worried about his minutes. So.
Yeah, I understand. We were talking before the show about that because I picked him up in season long.
But yeah, we can go to the next game, I think.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right, we've got the Clippers on the back-to-back going against the Cavs. Clippers are favored 8 points. Over under is 219. So what is Drummond questionable?
Drummond is questionable, yeah. So like I just said, if Drummond sits out, like you can play like Cedi Osman. You could definitely play Jared Allen. Tough matchup, but the dude's like he's just good overall. Like Minnesota obviously was just a nut matchup for him, but I don't mind Jared Allen. Is he still power forward on FanDuel, or do they move him?
Let me see.
He's still power forward. He's 7K though. That's kind of tough. If Drummond's out though, like he's just gonna play minutes, so I don't mind Jared Allen at all on either site, even at his elevated price tag, even against this Clippers team on a back-to-back. Remember, this Clippers team had a hard-fought game yesterday. Yep. They could, like Ibaka and these people may not play a ton of minutes. This could be a blowout anyway. Like I don't know, but this is like they had a hard-fought game yesterday. So, okay, Miles Turner questionable. That just makes Sabonis even more of a nut play.
The same thing.
So, continuing in this game though, I don't like any of it. I don't want to play the guards. I don't want to play Sexland. Not against this team. I don't want to play Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. Yeah, no, this is just a full stay away spot for me unless Drummond's out, and then it's pretty much just Jared Allen and Cedi Osman. It's Cedi Osman on FanDuel only, not DraftKings. Also, just 2 seconds. Why the fuck was Kawhi Leonard like not owned last night in DraftKings?
I don't know. It's crazy.
But so Paschal is like 80% owned, and Kawhi Leonard is 5. So this is a 10K player all year. Now 9,200 against Brooklyn in a game that he should see a shit ton of minutes. Oh wait, he played 39 minutes in a competitive game, we're not going to play Kawhi. Like, come on. He was only like 50% owned on FanDuel. I don't understand where people were looking at last night to not play him. It was like I said on the pod yesterday. I was like, he is the top play on the slate. I don't get it at all. It's mind blowing. But
Facts.
I digress. That's all I have from that game.
Okay, I'm just looking through some FanDuel pricing. Kawhi's still 94, Drummond's 88, but questionable. I don't like that. Paul George, 84, decent price tag. I mean, nothing's really sticking out here.
We
for
could
me.
see Kawhi or Paul George rest too, by the way.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I would lean
back
towards more
to back.
Kawhi than Paul George.
Yeah, just saying. Yeah, just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, Lou Williams is trash. We're not playing him.
No.
So yeah, it's just really like Chetty Osman if Drummond sits, and that's pretty much it. I don't have anything on the FanDuel side, so.
All right, let's go to the next game.
Yeah, we can move on. We've got the Knicks taking on the Bulls. The Bulls are favored 2 points, and one of the smallest totals on the slate is the smallest total on the slate, 216.5.
So, first piece of news, just real quick, Otto Porter just got downgraded from probable to questionable, so that changes some of the Chicago rotations. I doubt he plays now. Just going back through everything, Julius Randle at 9,100, still a super fair price. I think this dude should be at around 10K. He was getting up there for a while, like we saw him at 97, and then he's kind of dropped back down and settled in at about this 9,100. I think he's a fair price every single slate. You can play Julius Randle. This is a nut matchup for him, by the way. Chicago plays pretty fast. His team plays pretty slow, but it's a pace up for them, so pace down for Chicago. But I don't mind him at all. Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen are both priced up more than I want. 100 even without Otto Porter is just a bad play. Quickly at 5,500, you can take some tournament shots on. Mitchell Robinson, you've got to just, if you're playing GPP, you're just taking shots on this guy every single slate when he's at 5K and below or around this price tag. The dude could put up a 50 burger at any moment, and no one would be surprised because he gets like 8 blocks and he has 14 rebounds and 18 points, and you're like, oh, that was a really good game for Mitchell Robinson. I should play him more often. And then he burns you like 10 games in a row, and you're like, I should probably stop, and then he blows up again. So around this price tag, you can keep playing him. All it's going to take is for Julius Randle to get 3 fouls in the first half and Mitchell Robinson play, 18, 19 minutes in the first half and just dominate the usage of that underneath. So I don't mind him. I never will mind him. Alec Burks at 4,700, I don't mind. I'm never going to mind him at this sub 5K price tag.
I just hate their guards, man.
Yeah, their guard rotation's terrible. Now, I will also say, I don't know if Quickly's going to take over the reins of this point guard or not, but Elfrid Payton's minutes are way down.
Yeah, he's unplayable. Can't play him.
He is unplayable, except in GPPs. 3,900 for Elfrid Payton, that when he is still starting, is way too cheap. Do not play him in cash. But in GPP, as long as he is still in that starting lineup, you can play Elfrid Payton. You're not going to like it. He's probably going to burn you, but he's not going to like absolute murder you at this price either. So I would be like, if people are getting to 2% of Elfrid Payton, I'm getting to 5. If people are getting to 5, I'm getting to like 8. I'm getting a couple percent over the field for sure on Elfrid Payton if I'm playing 150 lineups. This is not a lot. Elfrid Payton is not a thing. If you're saying I'm making 10 lineups today, you don't need one with Elfrid Payton. Get better plays. Get different elsewhere. This is a 150 lineup kind of, you have 10 lineups with him kind of thing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Kobe White's a good price at 6K. FanDuel.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Kobe White. He's all the time. He's at 6K on FanDuel.
He's just 6K flat still.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good price. I don't like it for cash. I think there's better options overall. But this is like he could have a really good game. Like Quickly has not been playing defense. He's just shooting the damn ball. Elfrid Payton we know doesn't play defense except for like random bursts in the year where he has one super defensive game with like 5 steals. So Kobe White's a fine play. Not for me in cash, but yeah, I'd be over the field on GPP for sure.
Because the Knicks play super slow, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, remember, though, that New York, that's going to be, from their normal pace, Chicago's going to lose a couple possessions. New York's going to gain a couple. So I'd rather be on the New York side of this game. So, but that's all I have from this game.
Who's going to step in for Otto Porter?
I mean, Patrick Williams is going to continue to start. I mean, Otto Porter isn't starting right now,
Okay,
so
so
I'm
he's coming
not.
off
It's
the
just going to
bench.
be Thad Young, but I mean, Thad Young's expensive now, so
How much is he on DraftKings?
59, and then he's 58 on FanDuel. I don't want
Yeah.
either one of those at all.
Yeah, he's getting up. And then he's going to
That's
have.
literally a 0% play for me in 150 lineups.
Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Yeah, I don't have anything else here. This is a pretty mad game. On 10 games, you can kind of X out games that you don't really want to target, and this is
Except for Randall. Except
yeah,
for
I
Randall.
like Randall. This is probably one of the games you don't want to target that much. GPPs, sure. So let's move on, Zach. We've got the Wizards taking on the Heat. The Heat are favored 9.5, and the over/under is 227.
Yeah, Westbrook's out. So, Bradley Beal at 9,700. Like he's kind of just been matchup proof this year, so I don't mind targeting playing him. Butler's probably going to defend him as much as though. So, um, Butler played last night, right?
He did.
No, he didn't. They had
He didn't?
they no, they didn't. He played
Oh,
on
no, I'm
he
sorry.
played on the first. I was just making sure it wasn't a back to back because I was like they could rest
Yeah,
Butler.
yeah.
Tyler Hero and all these people are like probable and questionable. I expect all of them to play. I even expect Goran Dragic to play. Yeah, he's probable. So I expect all of the guards to be available for Miami, unless they sit Butler for whatever reason. I don't think they're going to. I think Butler wants to play from being out so long. But Westbrook is out. We do know that. The Heat, to me, are unplayable. All of them. Every single one of them. There's too many of them that are now available. Too many of them are going to be getting minutes in a game that they should easily win. Um, so let's stick to just Washington. Bradley Beal's fine at 9,700 on DraftKings. Westbrook we know is out, like I said. Then the net has price like Rui Hachimura. This is a back-to-back where he hasn't played a ton of games. I don't like Rui in this game. I don't like Davis Bertans. Ish Smith at 4,800. I do actually like. How much? What is Ish's price on FanDuel?
Ish
46.
is,
Yeah,
yep,
so Ish
46.
on. Sorry, I answered my own question.
Go ahead.
Ish is a good play on both sites because Raul Neto is still out. I expect him to be the de facto point guard for this team. I expect him to start. Um, he is in the projected starting lineup. Ish Smith, when he starts, usually does pretty freaking well. Um, He's been doing well off the bench. He's just aggressive, and I think he can outscore his price tag. So I really like Ish Smith on both sites. So like on FanDuel for instance, like I like Ish Smith over Theo Maladon for $200 cheaper. So there's already one pivot to Theo Maladon on FanDuel. On DraftKings, you can have both because Theo Maladon is a shooting guard as well.
Hmm.
So you can have both on DraftKings easily, and I probably will have both. Um, so the rest of this game though, like I think you could play some Garrison Matthews at 3,300. I don't hate that. I don't hate Jerome Robinson at 4,100. But again, the reason that I'm not going to be head over heels for those two plays is that Denny Avija and Rui are both back, and that's where a lot of Garrison Matthews and Jerome Robinson's minutes were coming from. So I don't really like both those plays. I think it's for me, it's gonna be Ish Smith and Beal from this game, and that's basically it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Raul Neto is out. So that
Yeah, that's
definitely
what I'm
gives all
saying.
the
Ish
minutes
Smith.
to
He's
Ish.
the only other point guard. Like Garrison Matthews is probably gonna be the backup point guard, and Jerome Robinson's probably gonna back up Beal,
Yeah.
something on that. Like that's what I expect. But
Yeah, I don't mind Avija. Small forward, he's 3,700. There's better plays at small forward, but if you wanted to get, a pivot at one
you want to get
percenter,
different. Yeah.
yeah, I like him. He played some big minutes. Well, it was kind of actually in the blowout, I guess, but he is getting minutes.
I mean, they only
Uh,
lost by 11 against Portland.
yeah.
Avija is just like a very much boomer bust play. You can see it all season. Like he's got 9, 3, 4, 40, 12, 4, 27. So that's just his recent games too. And then before that, 27, 15, 31, like all really good games. But two against for Chicago and then Minnesota, and then he only got 9 against Brooklyn. So he's gonna be a boomer bust. He's a rookie. They're playing him, how they want. This is a tougher matchup for him. But yeah, if you want to get different, I don't mind that.
Yeah. What do you think about Butler again? He's 85, small forward. Like he could be your pay up small forward.
I'll say if he's your last piece, fine. I don't hate it.
Okay. What's he on DraftKings?
84, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add here. I don't really like this Washington team, honestly, outside of Beal and Westbrook when he
Yeah,
plays.
and Beal's not a priority for me today. If this was many other teams besides uh, Heat, I'd be okay with getting to him, but it's just a tougher matchup.
Yeah, Natural says in the chat, Thad at 5,800 at center, that's a great play.
Who? Who?
Natural in the chat. He said he really likes Thad at 5,800 at center. You have any rebuttals to that?
He's he's not a center. They moved him to center.
Yeah,
Oh
that's what I
my
was trying to
god.
tell you.
That makes him a negative -1,000,000% play of my 150 lineups. No, I don't like him. I mean, if you do, I don't want to talk you off of your spot at all. But hell no for me. That is
Now just
I'm
explain it.
sorry to me.
Explain it to
That
me
is a
and to
terrible
everybody
play
else.
to me.
Why him moving to center? Because you think that there's opportunity cost at center?
It's opportunity cost. Yeah, I mean, like I'd rather play Al Horford at 6,500. That's $700 more. Much rather play that. I'd rather play Cody Zeller at 55. I'd rather play Mitchell Robinson at 53. I'd rather play Kelly Olynyk at 4,600 for sure. If I'm like trying to take these like off the wall centers.
Because they're still bringing him off the bench, correct?
Thad Young is still off the bench. No, Kelly Olynyk's starting.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, Thad. Yeah, he's coming off the bench.
Thad's off the bench. Yeah, I'd rather play DeAndre Ayton at 8,200. If Miles Turner starts, I'd rather play 7,400 Miles Turner. Yeah. Like I'd rather play 10-2 for Joel Embiid. Like so, Thad Young is like a mid 4K price tag player. That's what he should be. That's a fair price for him. So in my like model and my thought process, he's like $1,300 overvalued. So hell no. If you want to go there in GPP, you should get him at no ownership. You really should get him at no ownership. I can't imagine. Let me see.
We don't have ownership yet, so
I just can't imagine that he is going to grade out as a really good play. I mean, like he's projecting right at value, but I just like I can't imagine like wanting to go like and Steven Adams if he plays is 5.1K. Like I'd rather go there for sure.
I like Steven Adams.
But it's not for me. I don't like paying that kind of price tag for a backup center that I don't know what all they're gonna do. His as much as I mean, Otto Porter could still play. I mean, he got downgraded. I think he's gonna be out. So we're just going to say that. I'm not.
His run has been crazy since Wendell Carter Jr. got hurt. I will say that because I've got Thad Young in my season long, and he's been crushing it for me.
You picked him up like 1 game ago. Don't be like I've been riding this wave.
2 games ago. 3 games ago. 44, 39, 30, 39 again.
Yeah, I'm just it's not.
You think it's a fallacy?
He's not a triple double kind of a game guy. I mean, the last 3 games he's gotten these triple doubles. So I'm just, or he's gotten close to him, is what I'm saying. Like it's not for me.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think we can move on. We covered the Wizards and Heat, so let's move on to the Spurs and the Timberwolves. The Spurs are favored 8.5 points, and the over/under is 224.
Yeah. So Towns is still out. I expect him sometime before the week's up. Maybe next game. I mean, he's been in quarantine for almost 3 weeks now, so it's usually like a 14-day thing. So, DeRozan at 6,900. Like, I mean, this is just a really good price tag for him.
Really good price tag.
He played 30 minutes last time. Like,
they're super deep, man. They play a lot of people.
They are. Until we have a game where the Spurs say DeJounte Murray's out, or Derek White's out, or Patty Mills is out, or Lonnie Walker's out, or Keldon Johnson's out, or someone of this main rotation is out. I don't know if we can play DeRozan anymore. Which really sucks because 6,900 is just a fantastic price tag. But I think it's a trap. This is a great matchup for him. Like, fantastic matchup. But, like, with the rotation that they're doing right now, I don't know how you can get there. He's a great GPP play if he's not getting ownership, which I don't know. But if once he gets down to like the mid 6Ks, we're gonna have to have another discussion. But right now, I can't. D'Angelo Russell's questionable. I expect him to sit on a back-to-back. They did play. No, they played the other day. Sorry. Never mind. I bet he'll play. Same injury that he was dealing with before. I bet he plays tonight. 1,600 is a fair price tag for him. But he's really not getting enough minutes either. Like, it's the same scenario. Those 2 plays are both good price tags, but they're not playing enough minutes. DeJounte Murray's the same thing. 6,400 is a good price tag, but like he's just playing like not enough minutes. I can't.
Yeah,
Um,
with White back, they're
don't
just
don't
splitting all
look
these
into
minutes.
Keldon Johnson's gigantic explosion against Memphis and him getting 48 points as a reason to play him. Don't play him. And GPPs obviously you can play Keldon Johnson. He has upside. Um, Anthony Edwards let me down the last game. He he had 18 at halftime. I was like, great, we're on pace for a 36-point outing. This could be fantastic. And then he got 4 points in the second half. I don't know what happened. I don't mind him at 5,400. If D'Angelo Russell is out, I love Anthony Edwards. Fantastic play for Anthony Edwards. If D'Angelo Russell's out, if he's not out, he's an okay play. If D'Angelo Russell's out, Ricky Rubio 4,500 is a smash play. And then the rest of this game is just like a no go for me. Like I don't want any Spurs. I don't want their 20 to 30 minutes that I'm going to get from them. I don't care.
Yeah. DDR is 72 on FanDuel, so he's even less in play there. Still a good price tag for him, but just the minutes aren't there.
Yeah, I can't trust anything.
Yeah, I just don't like playing Spurs. I think there's better spots.
I mean, they have a really good matchup tonight, but yeah, with
Yes,
their
they do.
current rotation, there's just no way I can do it.
Yeah, it's bad. All right, well, we can move on, man, if you're ready. To the next one. We got two more.
Go for it.
All right, we got the Suns taking on the Pelicans. The Suns are favored 3.5 points, and the over/under is 222.5. What you got from this game?
Chris Paul is playing like an absolute animal, but he's
Resurrection.
priced up. So you can take shots on him on GPPs, but it's not for me. Brandon Ingram's always in play when he's around this like 8K price tag. Zion is 8K now on the dot. Don't mind him. He let me down last game. He had like 25 at halftime, and then started the second quarter off, the third quarter, and then by the end of the third quarter, I think he had 27, and I was like, what happened? like where did you go? He like didn't do anything last game. I wasn't in foul trouble and played 31 minutes. The last two games I don't know where minutes have been. But without Steven Adams, I don't mind Zion again tonight. Like it's just, and again, Steven Adams is I think questionable, so no reason to think that he's not going to play. But just be on the lookout if he doesn't. I like Zion again. If he's 8K and below, I do not mind playing Zion. So he's right on that edge. So under 8 and 7,400 on DraftKings is not a bad play. He should be able to get you value at that price tag. Lonzo at 5,700. I don't like targeting Chris Paul defense, but 5,700 for Lonzo Ball it's a fair price tag, so I don't mind it. The rest of this game is just unplayable. As long as Booker is going to be in, and he's probable, so I expect him to play. You're not paying in these 5K price tags for these role players for Phoenix. So
yeah,
just leave this game alone. Otherwise,
yeah, we'll watch out for the Steven Adams news. I do like him at center if he does play at 5,100. That's just too cheap.
5,100 is a pretty good price tag on FanDuel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have too much from this game. I was just kind of looking at ownership, and it's Chris Paul at 8K on FanDuel and Bledsoe at 56. I don't like that at all. That is getting ownership. I don't want Bledsoe.
I mean, Bledsoe at 56 is fine, but again, you've already got Ish Smith there, and I imagine there's a point guard towards the top that I'd rather play.
Shooting guard, but yeah, there is.
Oh, he's shooting guard? Okay. I don't mind. 56 is not bad. It's really not bad.
I think there is better plays.
He's 59 on DraftKings. Yeah, I would imagine there's better plays.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we don't have to spend too much time on this game. We'll just keep an eye out for the Steven Adams news. So I like his price tag a lot. So we can move on. Last game of the slate. Celtics taking on the Kings. Celtics they are on a back-to-back. They are favored 2 points against the Kings, which is crazy. Over-under is 226.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the notification that I just got. It's just talking about the Thunder players.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it, but I'll talk about that at the end. I do want to talk about something right now. Kemba Walker's not going to play tonight. He doesn't play on back-to-backs. They've already said that he's not going to play back-to-backs the entire season. He's not been ruled out yet, but he's not going to be playing tonight. So then we have to look at Jeff Teague, 4,700 on DraftKings. Remember, there is no Marcus Smart. So I really do like Jeff Teague. Now that Jaylen Brown is sub 8K on DraftKings, 7,900 is a really good price tag for him. Jason Tatum at 8,900 is a really good price tag. Um, really, this entire Boston team is in play. Tice 4,800, really good price tag. Thompson at 3,700, really good price tag. There's going to be more usage for this team. You now have Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart out. Okay, you know what we did last year when these people were out? You play every single Boston person available when one of these guys was out. Now you have two. Like it's the same scenario. This is a pace up matchup. This is everything. I really like Teague. I really like Tatum. I really like Tice. I like Brown. I don't mind Thompson. I don't mind freaking like remember Peyton Pritchard is questionable. It's considered day to day, so he. I don't think he's gonna play. If Peyton Pritchard plays, I don't want him. He's probably gonna be on a minutes limit. I don't mind. I don't mind any of these Boston people. You could like Aaron Neesmith could like slot into the starting lineup. I doubt it, but I mean, like I'm just saying, like I don't like anything's possible. I expect Teague, Brown, Tatum, Tice, and Thompson to start, but there's a lot of like options that you can get from Boston with Kimba and Marcus Smart being out.
Yeah,
But
Tristan
Teague,
Thompson, man, is 3,800 power forward.
yeah, he's 3,700 on DraftKings.
It's
So,
crazy.
I don't mind that as a play. Like, again, this is a pace up matchup. I don't even know if it's a pace up match. It's just a good paced matchup overall. I
Yeah.
don't know which team has the faster pace, but just overall, it's a good matchup. Should be a competitive game. I like it. No Kemba Walker opens up more usage. Go for it.
Yeah, I really like Tatum. He's 95 on FanDuel. Jaylen Brown, he's 87. He's small
Yeah,
forward though.
87 is tough.
Yeah.
That could be the small forward that you want to pay up for. 79 on DraftKings is much better.
Yeah. Just me, I don't know. I would rather go to Jimmy Buckets. Cheaper, I think.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough
It is
for
a
sure.
tough 1v1 there. What do you think about Fox? He's 8,200 on FanDuel. He's coming off a monster game, I'm pretty sure. Yes, he dropped 57 points against the Pelicans.
I guess I think he has like a personal vendetta against New Orleans Pelicans because the last podcast I was like, don't look at his 77-point game that he had against New Orleans. I was like, I don't like targeting Lonzo, and Lonzo was not in that other game. And I guess
Puts up
De'Aaron Fox
57.
heard me. He's like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna murder this team again. So,
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox is playing really good. I don't mind him if he's your last piece. I like him more on FanDuel. You say he's what, 83 or 82?
He's 82 point guard.
Yeah, so 82 is not bad. I don't like him at 85 on DraftKings. There's more plays that I want to get to. There's the Sabonis, there's Jaylen Brown, there's Tatum, there's all these people that I want to get to in that upper, price range. So Aaron Fox is not going to find his way in on DraftKings. And remember that when you're building lineups too, if you know like Sabonis is going to be chalky.
Yep.
If he's not chalky, then if he is not chalky, I'll put in the chat later to go the fuck in tonight. If I realize that he is, if I look and I'm like, oh, Sabonis is only getting like 5% ownership, I'd be like, go in tonight, but don't do that yet. So like Tatum, I like more. I like Jaylen Brown more. So already, I like Julius Randle more. So already those are like pieces that I like better. But remember that when you're making lineups, if you see that all these people are getting a ton of ownership and Fox is going to be literally unowned, that's a good spot to get to in GPPs. That's how you can be different and get more upside or get the same amount of upside. And if Fox hits his upside and the other people don't, you're way ahead of everybody. So look at that from that way too. But that's all I have from this game. I do want to go back and talk about the Thunder just real quick.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. We're heading on. We're at right at
This is
55 minutes, so we're doing
yeah.
good.
This is the biggest thing to get right today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 10 available players. Okay. So I don't expect Horford to be rested or anything like that. Like I was talking about was a possibility earlier. They have 10 available players. Another person that you can get to is Justin Jackson. He was kind of getting some minutes earlier. He could actually find his way into the starting lineup. He had started, I think, a couple games like back when, or was coming early off the bench. He never played a lot of minutes, but if he starts, you could play him. Kenrick Williams, you can play. He may get some more run. He may even start. We don't know the starting lineup. We don't know what they're going to do here. I expect the Amaldan to start at the 1. I expect it to be then Diallo, Dort, Baisley, and Horford, but it could be anything. I really don't. Baisley and Horford are pretty solid in, and then Dort. It's really just that two, and I don't know who's going to start at. And actually, if Dort slides up to the two, it could be it's the two or the three. I don't know who's going to start at. Dort's going to be one of them. I don't know the other. I expect it to be Diallo. They may want him to come off the bench, and they may have Kendrick Williams start. They may have Justin Jackson start. I don't know what they're going to do. Um, but I would there you can take shots on the bench players in GBPs. There's 10 people. That's an average of 24 minutes for everybody. Obviously, some people are not going to get that. I don't think like Moses Brown is actually not even available, so scratch that. I don't expect Darius Miller to get a lot of minutes. I don't expect Mike Muscala to get a ton of run. If Al Horford's in, I don't expect Isaiah Roby to get a ton of run. Um, so really, that knocks it down to a certain amount of players that are going to see 20 plus minutes. But just make sure you get that right. If no one else has any questions,
Yeah, I got
gonna be
some
a
things
wrap
I want to
for
bring
me.
up. I was
Go for it.
mindlessly scrolling Twitter, and I just came across this random dude tweeting. He said favorite NBA narratives for Wednesday. It's Isaiah Roby's birthday. I don't care about that.
I don't care.
Trae
Yeah.
Young versus Luka. I'm the better draft pick narrative. I can buy into that a little bit.
Well, I like Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae's a good play.
Luka's a fine play. Trae Young at 9,500's a good play, like I said earlier.
Yeah. Brogdon revenge narrative. I completely forgot about that. And then you got Depot revenge narrative, but I don't think he's really mad, so I don't think it's like revenge.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Depot.
How's Oladipo revenge narrative?
Who does he play today? I'm just reading this tweet, so just give me a second.
Oh, I mean, from way back. Okay, yeah, Oladipo was on OKC.
For like a season.
I don't care about Oladipo at all.
And I don't think that he's mad either.
The only one from that I really care about, I think Brogdon played Milwaukee last year and actually did pretty good, but he's been able to flourish on Indiana. I don't buy that at all. The only one I can get to is Trae Young and Luka battling it out. That's it.
Yeah, I like that. And then Seth Curry, Charlotte homecoming. Don't like that either. So yeah, I like the Trae versus Luka narrative.
Okay, so I don't. The Seth Curry Charlotte thing, I actually do buy into. Let me make sure of this. Let me make sure of this. It's a good GBP thing to go off of. Pretty sure. Let's see.
And Chris Paul's going to be back in New Orleans today.
So yeah, okay. At Charlotte last year, Seth Curry came off the bench, scored 45. Yeah, I think this was like an actual real narrative. That him playing in Charlotte was like something that you could like actually take advantage of. It's not gonna be the same, but not a home crowd. Okay, yeah, it was that game last year. He didn't really play enough minutes the year before that. Oh yeah, because he was like on Portland, so he was kind of buried on that depth chart. They haven't played. He played Charlotte at home this year and got 34.5. So when he has been a real player over the last 2 years, like an actual starter or first off the bench kind of player, he's played extremely well against Charlotte. So 4,600 is a person that even before this, I wouldn't have minded if it was your last piece, and I don't mind him at all in GBPs, and I'd probably be able to field now with that kind of narrative. I mean, Philly, like, they can let the dude shoot. Like, they want him to be good. 4,600 is a fair price tag for him. I don't know what he is on FanDuel, but 4,600 on DraftKings is a fair price tag, 100%.
Let me see.
Expect him to get more minutes today.
Yeah, he's 4,400 shooting guard.
Yeah. In 2 games against Charlotte this year, he's had 34 and then 17. So, have one of those 2 games. I don't mind him though. So I'll say that one.
Okay. All right, we're gonna wait like one more minute for questions, and we're good. That was a lot.
I gotta get my contest. I haven't reserved anything.
Last minute questions. Yeah. So what do you think about this? All right, we got a question. Would you take Curry or Diablo? GPP. He means Diallo. Curry or
Diallo.
Yeah, for sure. I just think
Well,
they're short-handed.
for GPP, go Curry. Curry.
I guess if you're trying to get lower owned, sure.
Yeah, I mean for
Who
GPP,
has a
again,
higher ceiling? I think
I
it's
don't know what the
Diallo.
rest of your lineup would be at. If you're taking the stance on going away from Diallo to go to Curry, make sure you have other chalky pieces. Make sure you have a Dort or a Baisley or a Theo Maledon or a Horford or someone from that game. Don't just avoid it in GP. You're gonna want one piece. Someone on that team is gonna have to have a really good game, unless they score 40 overall points for the entire game. With Shea being gone and with George Hill being gone, they don't have a high usage point guard. You can say it could be Theo Maledon for fine. It could be Diallo. It could be anyone.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, if I was not having Diallo, I would make sure I had Baisley. Okay. If I didn't have Baisley, I'd make sure I have Diallo. Those would be the two that I want outside of Theo Maledon. On DraftKings, I like Theo Maledon a crap ton. On FanDuel, he's kind of taking up a place that I want Ish Smith at the same price tag, and I probably want to pay up for a point guard, or I want a mid range one. Like I would want Lamelo if at 6,600 if Rozier's out. So that kind of takes up your point guards, and Theo Maledon kind of falls to the wayside. So I'd just make sure you have a piece with that. Remember, everybody, you don't have to have a lineup of all contrarian pieces for a GPP.
Exactly.
There's going to be chalk pieces that are in the GPP winning lineup. Okay, there's going to be pieces that are. The other day, Jared Allen, super chalk. He was in the GPP winning lineup because he's just that good of a play. To get different elsewhere, and you have to get different in the right points every single night. That's how you win GPPs. That's why people won't do it every single night, because you have to be on the right side of everything. So that's why when people come in chat like, why didn't we play X person? Be like, well, if we did and he has 1% owned, we'd be taking down GPs. So, it's you have to be on the right side of everything to be able to do that.
Chalk is chalk for a reason. I mean, they're not in just poor spots and everyone's taking them. They're in good spots, and that's why they're chalk. So
I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if DeRozan's chalk tonight. Wouldn't surprise me.
For sure.
And I wouldn't hate playing him. Like, if he finds his way into my lineup, I'm not gonna be like, oh damn it, I gotta start from scratch again. I'll be like, oh, that's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. All right, well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys could drop us a follow, that really helps us out. We just hit affiliate status on here, so we appreciate it. And we went through all 10 games, so we're gonna get on out of here. Zach, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
All right.
Play more Call of Duty.
See you guys.
See